And hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's Dave Bondi. Thank you for watching. We are keeping it real. Today is Thursday, May 30th, I believe. Yes, May 30th. How are you doing? Thank you, everyone, for watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Rumble, and Locals. And I want to remind all of you, for those of you on Locals, part of this show will be free for everybody. All of you will be able to see my interviews and everything I'm doing on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Rumble. But the last 15 minutes of the show will be for paid subscribers only. So the last 15 minutes of the show will be available for paid subscribers only. If you would like to be a paid subscriber to support my mission of independent journalism, I would ask you to go to the link that I'm going to put on your screen right now, and I'll put it in the comments as well. davebondi.locals.com/support. Click on that link, sign up, become a paid subscriber to support my mission of independent journalism. The last 15 minutes of this show, though, will be for paid subscribers only. And I'll remind you that in a little bit. Okay, I want to get to the breaking news that is happening out of New York City. Former President Donald Trump has been found guilty on all counts, and he is not in prison. He will be sentenced on July 11th. At that time, the judge could put Trump in prison or put him on probation or parole. Forget which one is which. I apologize. Or he could put him on home arrest. There's so many things that could happen. But that news just happening. I went live just a little while ago talking about that verdict. So very, very interesting. We're just learning now Trump will hold a news conference 11 a.m. tomorrow addressing what is happening. So I also, there's breaking news happening in Minneapolis as two police officers have been shot. That breaking news just coming out as well. So there's a lot going on in the country tonight, but there's an issue that's been going on in this country that not a lot of people are talking about: mental health. You hear about it every so often in the media, but it's really not talked about seriously among, CNN or Fox or MSNBC. They talk about Trump, they talk about Biden all the time. They don't talk about mental health, the issues that are really matter in this country. And I have a guest, Tabitha. She was on my show just when I started it about a year ago, talking about mental health in the city of Flint with her daughter, Flint, Michigan. And I think all of you know about Flint, Michigan, the water crisis and so much that's going on there. But she has dealt with the system, as you would say, how the system has treated her and her daughter and everyone else, really. So we're going to bring her on now. Tabitha, good to have you here.
Hi, thank you so much for having me again. I appreciate it.
Okay, so you are still in Flint or Genesee County, correct? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still in Flint.
Okay, give everyone a rundown. You were originally, you have a daughter. She was born in Alabama, or no?
No, she was born here in Flint, Michigan, and we went down south, got hit with Hurricane Katrina, and came back to Michigan to my husband's family, and been here ever since.
Okay, so when did you said she's had issues with mental health? When did things first start going wrong or appearing there were issues with her? At a young age?
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Because of Hurricane Katrina and her being so little, she didn't understand. And she developed a trauma, a fear of losing material things. Instead of giving her counseling, they gave her psychotropic drugs.
The people down south.
Yes.
So they gave her literally they gave her drugs. Was it therapy at all or no?
No, it was, here's this pill, Concerta. It's supposed to help you calm down. And then because that wasn't working and it was causing suicidal ideation in her when she was 6, because she was still taking it and everything, then they started putting on more heavy neurotoxin drugs. When that didn't work and the school system couldn't handle it, they put her into a psychiatric facility where she was drugged to the point of having a psychiatric break at the age of 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
So literally, Katrina happened. What year was that? I don't even remember what year.
2005.
Yeah, 2005. I forget where I was working, but So many people with PTSD and trauma from dealing with that, you're telling me that they really didn't give therapy. They just said, here, take some psychiatric drugs.
Because they were having problems with her in school. It started because they couldn't handle her in school. And the school, therefore made mention to Child Protective Services, which pushed the medications and
Okay.
not the trauma-based therapy that I begged for, that I knew she needed.
And okay, so then you come to Michigan, you're in Michigan, and things didn't really get better.
Well, when we moved to Michigan, they seemed to be more understanding of the traumas. And they were a little bit more lenient, but then when they couldn't handle the anger outbursts that she was displaying, that's when the medications started becoming forced upon me, by the school system and by Child Protective Services, and saying that I had to get her medicated. And I was trying to explain and show my pictures, show my documents, and they said, just do what we tell you, and I did it. And unfortunately, it's led to massive psychiatric issues that now she has her entire life.
Wow. So yeah, there is so much going on. How old is she right now? How old is she right now?
She is 22. She was about 12 to 14 when the water crisis happened.
Wow.
She was 3 when Katrina happened. So yeah.
How has the water crisis impacted her and you?
Me, I'm numb. I'm numb to disasters anymore because of so much. I'm
Yeah.
just numb to it.
Yeah.
Her, it's destroyed her life. It's destroyed her life.
Is there, so you're talking like, is it like medically? I mean, the
Mentally, it's destroyed her life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Has she been in and out of treatment facilities or anything? Get into that a little bit.
Actually, okay, so again, it started with the school system. It started with Flint schools, and the behaviors after the water crisis was announced, and we were told, and I started doing research, and I'm like, oh God, now what are we looking? What are we facing? I wound up speaking with Obama's response team on the water crisis and what we were going to see with the lead poisoning. And then after I learned that it can cause and mimic psychiatric disorders, I got scared and started studying the psychiatric drugging drugs of our children and why they were drugging our children here. That showed aggression, showed impulsivity, showed all that stuff that led up to where we are today, unfortunately.
Huh. Now, did correct to say she had a child of her own?
Okay, so when she was placed in facilities, matter of fact, your viewers can Google Detroit Behavioral Institute.
Yeah, I can bring that up on the screen here. Let me give me a minute. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking.
Many of them, when she was placed in Detroit Behavioral Institute, she was abused. They didn't want to believe her. One of the visits that I had, unfortunately, because CPS got involved.
Here it is.
One of
This is
the
story. Yeah, this is the building. This is screen right here. Staff allegedly assaulted, taunted, bit youth at Detroit treatment centers. So your daughter she was at this facility.
She was at, yeah, one of them. There's 2 of them there. There were
okay.
2 of them. One of them.
Oh, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, you got me?
Yep.
Okay. They restrained her in their seclusion and restraints law that they wound up breaking her arm in 3 places.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old was she when she was in there? Like, would that have been
about 16, 17?
15, 17. Okay. So that was that supposed to be like a rehabilitation place or a detention center? Or what was it?
Well, for my daughter, it was supposed to treat the behaviors of lead poisoning, the behaviors that she
Okay.
was so-called demonstrating because of the psychiatric drugs. They were supposed to get her fixed, but instead caused her more abuse.
Wow.
So,
And when that happened, was she able to leave there and come home, or what happened after that?
no, she was just thrown in another facility.
Was she like, was she convicted of crimes or something, or
No,
was she deemed like mentally incapable of whatever, or
no. So she was under, because of all the behaviors, of the water crisis and the neurotoxin drugs given to her, they needed to get her stabilized.
okay.
So because they said I wasn't doing it, which I was going to Hurley, I was doing everything everybody was telling me. It got so bad it involved the police coming out here to help me. Um, I just got really out of control and nobody was addressing the trauma,
Wow.
the trauma, the therapy, the trauma, the therapy. And because we didn't have supports and services either, um, nobody wants to deal with somebody who's violent, but you may not understand why they're violent.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
But now she has a baby.
and I'm assuming that she doesn't have that custody of the child, or
Yeah, no. We're
okay.
fighting in courts right now for that baby. She was actually, and here's what I want people to understand, people that have mental health, that have psychological issues like schizophrenia, like my daughter, bipolar, things like that. They're very easily talked into things. They're very easily manipulated, and they're not protected. Nobody wants to protect them unless it has to do with we're going to put you in a facility and we're going to get money. And that's the sad reality we're in.
So it's about money. Just like during COVID, a lot of the patients, it was about it was a money thing.
Yeah, yeah, it
Um,
was. And
someone, yeah, go ahead. Someone you just mentioned. I mean, someone on the screen just wrote, "My son is now a resident in a resident home in Detroit. Is he in trouble?" I'm not sure. I'll see what he says, but I think people are worried. I guess it depends on what facility. I mean, they're not all as bad as that. I mean, I hope he's not
no,
as
no,
bad.
no.
Yeah.
So, they're not. Actually, the last facility when my daughter was in, they listened to me, they heard me, which was Vista Maria. However, though, um, they spoiled her. They were more caring than the other facilities. I don't want to ever tell a person to lock their child up because they have mental health, because I think that's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
But I know some parents are not given choices, but they need support. Sometimes these parents need other kids to come in and do things with their kids and not, bully them and say, well, you're a crazy person and this and that, not have nothing to do with them. Technically, me and my family's been isolated because of not only the water crisis, but because me speaking out for what I've
Yeah.
been speaking out.
Oops. Hold on. You still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had an issue with my audio. So is the system a complete failure when it comes to mental health?
I
Unless
wouldn't
unless you're a multimillionaire.
I wouldn't say a complete failure. Do I think the poor are getting the brunt end of it? Absolutely. The failures, the non-compliance, stuff like that, yes. Is the system a complete failure? No, I think we have hope. As you well know, and everybody else, medicine is not an exact science. It is experimental. But it's just a matter of, it's not just about meds, you guys. It's really and learn and understand and be supportive. Instead, my family has been demonized and ridiculed and everything like that, and that just makes the whole situation worse. Oh my god, I can't hear you. I lost sound. I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Can't hear.
Hello, 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 hello. How about now? Can you hear me now? Hello, how about now? No? Oh boy, hold on. How about now? Hello? Nothing? Okay, can you hear me? Hello? Okay, you can't hear me. Hold on. Hold on. I can't hear you. Okay, I'm gonna bring her back in Facebook. I'm gonna message her on Facebook right now. Okay. Okay, you can hear me. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Sissy. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Brendan. I just asked her to come back in. I don't know what happened with the audio right there. I was fidgeting with something and something happened. So all of you can hear me okay? At times the audio and video gremlins somewhat take over. So I don't know what happened there. That was really, really weird. Schizophrenia is not caused by trauma, says Andrea. Okay, she's back. Tabitha's here. Can you hear me now?
I can. Can you hear me?
I hear you. You hear me. We're good. I don't know what happened. That's
That
weird.
was weird.
Yeah, the bugs. So yeah, so there's hope. What is her future? I mean, how is she, what's going to happen for her? I mean, what do you, I don't know.
I don't know. This day and age, I don't know, because there's so much still stigma on mental health. With her being a mom, everybody else start going, well, you can't be a mom because you have, or you're not capable because you have. And it's really, it's not all that. I think she could be a great mom. I think she just needs people with her to help guide her every day. And she could be a great mom. Are people going to do that? Absolutely not.
Yeah,
They're gonna,
no, they won't. What's your advice for, I asked you last year at the time, what's your advice for the system? And sometimes throwing money at stuff doesn't help, but because we don't know where the money goes sometimes, or does it really go where it's supposed to be going? What would help things?
like I told you last time, an individualized plan for that person, dig into what's going on, be more thorough, do it to that person's needs, not your demands. Make sure what they need is being met.
Okay. What about government? What would you tell the lawmakers, the governor, you still here? You got me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you tell the public officials, the people that we vote for and all that kind of stuff?
To educate yourself, medically educate yourself, because I don't think there's enough politicians or people that actually know about mental health, and it's easier to disregard them people as unstable or crazy or whatever they want to list people that suffer. My daughter suffers post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, you wouldn't treat our vets like that. Why would you treat a child with the same diagnosis?
Yeah. So someone, and that's the thing, just throwing drugs at people's, it doesn't help. So I mean, it's a combination of therapy, drugs,
Right.
therapy. So
And support. Stop tearing families apart. One of the issues that I've seen even now as a Flint resident, and what's the I hate to use this word because like we're speaking about the government and stuff, but like I feel like I've lived here in Flint. I've spoke out about education. I spoke out about mental health. I feel like the more I speak out and tell them to listen to us, the worse it gets for me and my family. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, they should want people like you to get involved, but many times they just want people to shut up and do what they're told, which that's not how it should be.
Right. I mean, if they're willing to communicate with me and really dig into what's going on, I mean, I'm open to anybody and everybody. Um, but when you've been lead poisoned and your body is sorry, my husband is real sick now.
No,
Um, yeah, because of lead.
jeez.
Oh, yeah. Um, you know, communicate with that person, meet their needs. I know it costs money, but meet their needs and see what you could do. You might change just the emotion of that person. It may not be that that person may suffer, depression because you just now impacted their life negatively.
Yeah. Well, I am going to keep checking in with you because I know you might have some new information in the future. You got some things going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so advice to everyone if they're dealing with your situation, what would you tell people? Because I talked to a guy the other day who was trying to get help from this DHS or MDH or someone, and no one could even pick up the phone. It's like it's hard to even find help. What would you tell people? Just keep on pushing? I don't know. It's oh, I lost you. Hello? We lost her. But I was about to end the interview anyway. Yeah, that's okay. So we've had having some connection issues here tonight, definitely. So for those of you watching on Locals, how you doing? Looks like there's only one person watching on Locals. How many of you are watching on Locals right now? Oh, are you back?
I am sorry.
No, that's okay. I
Um,
was gonna go ahead.
this community needs to really step up. Remember the old saying, it takes a village? Well, that's kind of what we need. We need everybody to be just a little more, okay, sympathetic and say, hey, well, I'm dealing with this too. We're not dealing with this alone. It's not like it's a little targeted group of people, that have mental health. I mean, it's affecting all of us in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Keep me updated. Prayers to you, her, and your family.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely keep me updated, please.
I will. Definitely, I will.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you. Wow. Little technical problems there, but she's been going through hell because of mental health. And yeah, a lot of people are suffering in this country when it comes to mental health. It's just, and she doesn't know how things can get better. Yeah. So sorry, everybody. Just keeping an eye on several breaking stories happening right now across the country. And by the way, there's only 6 people watching on Facebook right now. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Facebook's kind of blocking my feed as to what I'm doing, which is just stupid as can be. So thank you, Sissy. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Brandon. I see you're here, Brandon. So for those of you watching right now, earlier we were talking about former President Donald Trump. Trump has been found guilty on all counts. So that story is breaking as we speak. But there's another story breaking right now happening in Minneapolis. There is a big story happening in Minneapolis that's not getting talked about. And this is it right here. I'm going to play this video. This is 2 police officers and multiple people have been shot in Minneapolis, Minnesota, during an active shooting situation. 2 police officers have been shot along with several civilians in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You're taking a live look right now at the scene in Minneapolis. So you have that breaking situation happening as we speak right now. And the other breaking news that we're dealing with is former President Donald Trump. Former President Donald Trump has been convicted on all counts, and he will be sentenced on the 11th of July. He could possibly go to prison and be forced to campaign from a jail cell that oh, hold on, everybody. Hold on. Trying to bring up sound. Donald Trump spoke shortly after leaving the courtroom. He was not put into custody. He could, though, be put into custody July 11th. That is not a guarantee. The experts say that most likely will not happen. But I want to I'm trying to find the sound right now of Trump talking right after he left court. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to find it for you. Yeah, I can't find it. Basically, he said November 5th. That's when the real verdict will come in, on November 5th. So just wanted to know what all of you thought about this. Trump does say he will have a news conference tomorrow at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Andrea said it's a Biden witch hunt to attack his political opponent. Jay Nahannon watching on Locals. Thank you very much. Okay, everyone. Well, today has been kind of crazy, kind of disjointed. We had technical problems with our first interview. So I'm going to switch this over to Locals, everyone, right now. For those of you who are watching, there's 105 people watching right now on X, on Twitter. And for those of you who are watching on Twitter, I am switching over to Locals now. Locals is a paid subscription service. It's just like Facebook, but with no censorship. And that's where you can support my independent journalism over there. And I'm going to put a link in the comments right now. davebondi.locals.com/support. If you can click on that link, if you are not a paid subscriber, you can click on that link and you can join me over on Locals. If you're watching on X, on Twitter, I don't think you can click the link. I don't think comments show up. But what you can do is type into your computer or your phone, davebondi.locals.com/support. And you can join me over on Locals. We're going to switch over there right now. Okay, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here on Locals. We are going to be going behind the paywall